College students are protesting and using the slogan, "Not My President," to express their disgust with the newly announced President of the United States, even though Donald Trump has yet to take office. Many Americans were shocked over Hillary Clinton's defeat and Donald Trump's victory. The polls and social media advertised everywhere that the race would be close, but there was no doubt that Hillary Clinton was going to be the next president of the United States. But what happened to those dedicated Bernie supporters? Did they choose to vote Independent Party and be the 5%? Perhaps if the Bernie supporters voted for Hillary, the outcome would have been different. As shown on the graph, neither candidate won by a majority vote. The Independent Party received more votes than predicted. In the New York Times election exit polls graph, under party affiliation, only 42% of the Independent Party voted for Hillary Clinton and 48% voted for Donald Trump. In between those statistics, there is a good-sized gap demonstrating that many people who identify themselves with the Independent Party actually voted for candidates in the Independent Party. As we see in the CNN election results, there was no real majority win for Clinton or Trump. It shows that an average of 3 to 4% voters voted for Gary Johnson. People Press explains when asked their preference in a two-way race, Johnson backers split evenly. 43% say they would support Clinton in a two-way contest, while 42% would favor Trump. Johnson supporters are younger on average than voters who back either Clinton or Trump. Nearly a third of Johnson supporters in the four-way contest are younger than 30. This is roughly double the share of Clinton or Trump supporters who are younger than 30. Only 29% of Johnson backers are 50 or older, compared with the 50% of Clinton supporters and 62% of Trump voters. A majority of those who support Johnson are independents, and they are divided roughly evenly between those who lean toward the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, while 14% decline to lean toward either party. Just 7% of all registered voters and just 3% of each Clinton and Trump supporters are independents who decline to lean. Most of Johnson's supporters are millennials who were thought to have voted for Clinton, and there is a higher percentage of Independent Party voters who lean towards the Republican Party rather than the Democratic Party. Jill Stein, the Green Party candidate, declared a recount in certain states with hopes of uncovering election fraud and potentially handing the presidency to Hillary Clinton. If Clinton supporters are working through their post-election grief, the millions of dollars that have poured in for recount efforts show that many are still firmly in the denial stage. Cosmopolitan, although a less sophisticated political source, reported interesting opinions on the dangers of voting third party in this particular election. They claimed the reason for the lack of majority win were the undecided voters and the voters who claimed to support the third party. The third party voters believe the system is broken. Voters dislike both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, and that has many of them flirting with the voting third party. A lot of these voters are millennials, and specifically millennial women. It has been a month since Trump's shocking victory, and Clinton supporters are still devastated. There have been protests taking place all over the country and opinions and feelings shared all over social media. The millennials, who were the majority of Clinton voters, are in a state of denial and expressing their emotions the most, especially over social media. But the interesting fact is that the millennials could be the reason why Clinton did not win and the reason why there was no majority vote. Millennials who did not support Clinton or Trump voted third party, which was a wasted vote. There was no chance any third party candidate would win the presidency, and if the third party voters were really that disgusted by Trump, as they are expressing now, they should have voted for the lesser evil.